Okay, I'm back. So yeah, so I basically just was trying to just want to share my story again. But yeah, I did see with the car accident and everything. With the car accident, I I ended up I was with my I was dropping off the family and friends, and the accident, I guess, my accident happened. The everything went blank. um I was at this beautiful place. I ended up being in this beautiful place, and I had this. It was this feeling of like this feeling. It like felt really great. Like it was a beautiful place. Like everything just felt so perfect. Like it was just something about this place. It was perfect. I don't know. Like I said, if it was it felt. I guess I could say it felt familiar, but it was a beautiful place. And I was just like, I literally spent years, just trying to figure it out, just like, what does this mean? Not even years, but just at that time, I just remembered it was just something about the feeling. And the feeling is just, everything just felt perfect. Like I've never, just me just stopping the story now, just like I've never felt anything like that before. I know it. I felt peace. Like everything was so pretty, everything was so beautiful. It was just a beautiful place. I mean, I'm not even over exaggerating. It was the best feeling. I mean, because I try to describe it. Yeah, people's like, oh, you know, I know some people use stuff like, oh, being high, but I don't know nothing about that. But people say, oh, it's just a feeling. It's just a beautiful feeling. And like how I have learned that, um because I'm learning a lot. I have learned a lot with frequencies and different, feelings, to who all that, know what I mean, understand what I mean. And like I said, that frequency, because I'm really trying to tap back into that. I don't know if like I experienced that too, you know, to be able to share with people, because that was a great feeling. Like that was the best feeling ever. I don't know if you want to say people want to put it towards food, or just something you like to do. It was just a great feeling. And but everything was so pretty, the colors, the I can't it's so like, it's not even overwhelming. It's just like a wow moment. It just felt good. I mean, that's the only word. It felt so good, and it was so beautiful. Like the colors, everything was just so bright, like bright, pretty. Like I don't even know how to say it. It's just that feeling. And even though this happened, it happened, so long ago. That feeling, I still can feel it. I still can see the vision. I still can see that. And it's just, that's amazing to me. Like, and then even just speaking on it now, it just brought me back more into that moment, because I've learned so much, over these years, to awaken and understand different things or whatever. But that was the most, that was just a beautiful experience. I know, most people, everybody have different experiences when they talk about near death experience anyway. But I've heard, some people's stories where after I had my accident, I never heard anything like really before then. But afterwards, I really just felt that. I was just like, wow. But yeah, but it was just a beautiful, it was just a beautiful vibe, beautiful place. So, that was a big thing that, I like, even just talking about it. I wish, people can really understand me and just know like how I felt. But, like I said, I do know like this what I felt. But I also know, like, I had my friends that I had their babies was with me in the car accident too. But for some reason, I knew them So say for instance, in this realm on earth, they both were 1 years old. But where we were, that beautiful place, like they looked it different. They looked it older. But I can't even explain that. But they just felt familiar. Like I know them. So it's like we're good, like I know who they are. I mean, I couldn't see myself. I just know what I saw with my eyes, what I felt, where I was at. And that place, like I said, it was like a garden. It was like this big garden. And then like the garden, it was like flowers. Like the flowers were so, man, the flowers were so beautiful. Like it's like everything was just perfect. Like it was just a perfect picture. Like if this was a picture or a movie or a picture, it was just perfect. Like the sky was perfect, the flowers, and then it was like it was like this mansion, like a castle. We were walking, I guess we were walking, and it's just we were going down this place. Like the colors were so bright. It was like a lot of purple and gold and blue, like towards that castle. It's like the castle or the mansion, it's like it was crystals or something. It just was so shiny, bright. Like, man, I'm sorry. But it was just, yeah, that was a beautiful vibe. It was a beautiful place, just beautiful. But I can't remember us talking physically, out our mouth. But it's just like, I guess it was like a mind thing. Like we were talking with our mind, like we understood each other. And I don't know. I think because I had been trying to remember for so long, but I recall having a dream. I mean, not a dream, but having a feeling that we were talking. It's like in some kind of way, like that feeling was like we couldn't stay there, like we had to go or something. And that's what I kind of can feel so strongly, like we had to go. And I'm looking like I don't want to go. That's kind of like how it was. So I can't remember. I really hope I can remember one day, like really, because that's what we have to do. We have to remember things on our journey anyway. But I really wish I can remember what we were saying. But I do remember just that feeling of, I thought I heard something. Yeah, I just remember that feeling that it's like we couldn't stay here. And I remember the little boy, it was the tunnel beside him, and it was like a tunnel, like just standing up on the side of him. And he was closer to the tunnel than I was, like beside him. And then the little girl was next to me, but it's like she was facing back, going towards like the castle. I don't recall. It's not like we made it to the castle. I could see it, like we was trying to get there. We was ready to get there because we was out like with the flowers and in the pretty sky. And I was just, the sky is out there anyway. But it's just that space. I can remember that. I can just feel it. I can feel the energy of that. I can feel it. But yeah, so she kept going. But it's like it was more so her telling us we gotta go back. But it was like a feeling, like she was assuring us, like we reassuring us, like y'all gotta go back. And we like, no, we want to stay with you. We staying here. It feel good. It feel good right here. But that's kind of like the energy and like how we felt. And so I know how I felt. The next thing I know, the little boy, he went through the tunnel. Like I remember that. I can visualize. I see him. He went through the tunnel, and then it was pitch black. Next thing I know, he gone. He ain't with me no more. And then next thing I know, I'm still with her, and I guess it was my time to go through the tunnel. And then I go through. I guess I go through the tunnel, and I do remember, I guess in my mind, because I try, like I said, to remember. I try to remember like that. Well, I know the feeling, but it was like I felt this feeling of, I was upset. I was mad a little bit, because I'm like, I felt it was like a different vibe. It felt different from where I was just at. Like, so I guess coming back here, to earth, or I'm assuming, or, and I used to say like my spirit being put back in my body or something, but it's a change. It was a feeling, a change that I felt that, excuse me, that wasn't, it didn't feel the same where had just come from. And so I was like, oh my God. I'm like, okay. So I was kind of upset. And then I remember opening my eyes, because it's like, even when that happened, I felt like a little upset feeling. And then I remember a feeling of where I was asking for the little girl, like in my mind. Like in my mind, it's I still know that I was talking to her. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I was talking to her, and then all of a sudden, I guess, with the exchange or whatever, and I came back here and I opened up my eyes, and then I was in the hospital. And it's like when I opened up my eyes, I saw like my family and everybody sitting down, like, in a setting, and they just looking at me, it's kind of, crying, upset, but, I didn't know what was going on, because my birthday had just passed. So it's like I was in the remembrance, like, oh, my birthday. Oh, I must be having a birthday party or something. That's kind of like what I was thinking. And then I remember having this feeling like, where's the little girl at? Like, because, it's like I was holding her hand, or I was close, I was next to her. And then I don't remember what, I just, after that, it's like I kind of thought about it, and I'm like, okay, I don't know where she went to, but, when I started seeing everybody, and then, eventually, I guess over some little time, I kept waking up and stuff, and I guess, I finally woke up, and they started understanding, but, I was on the meds and stuff. So I guess, that I kind of did get word that, I kind of got word. Stop.
A monster.
Stop, Jalen. Yeah, I got word that breaking up this car. Yeah, I kind of had got word that I had been in a car accident, and I'm like, oh wow, and I just couldn't understand it all. I was just like, I've been in a car accident, y'all can excuse me. My son jumped in the car. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, no, not right now. Yeah, so I got in the. Come on now, go in there. I'm doing a video. Please go sit down. And so I was like, I'm like, dang, I'm in a car. I'm hearing this like I'm in a car accident, but I didn't know what was going on. It was just a. That was just a experience. Like, I really didn't think it meant anything. I really didn't think it meant anything, for a while. But, as I start, realizing just over the years and stuff, like, yeah, this definitely meant something. And this definitely needed to be shared, it just needed to be shared. And I needed to talk to people about this. Maybe someone can, give me a more understanding of it. Because, a lot of people have went through a lot of things, experienced a lot of things. And, some people experienced it and went through their journey and got a, got a understanding of it. But, I didn't woke up now to a lot of things. So, yeah, a lot of stuff makes sense now compared to at first. Because, I just know there was a real, that was something different. But I can honestly say I didn't spend years trying to just figure everything out and understand it, because it's been a tough journey. Like, I've been through so much, just different things, that I've learned. I just been through a lot of different changes. Y'all just would not believe it. But, I just need an understanding. I just need to just really understand how it all goes and everything. But yeah, but I did, like I said, did eventually find out that we were in a car accident, and it was some more of us. I mean, I don't want to just tell, word for word everything that happened. So I really did try to sum everything up. I know I'm a little long-winded, but I was more so focused on the on what I experienced and, like what I saw, because, everybody saw different things, and, everyone probably want to share their own story, because it was a hard, experience. One of my friends, she did lose her daughter, and I really, they really, bothered me, and I was, with her, so it's like I look at things differently now, especially death now. And when I since I've been on, this journey, everybody look at things differently, but I know that meant something. Like I said, that whole experience, it just felt so different, but I felt like I knew them already. So I just really want to know overall what that experience was for all of us, because we all experienced something, in our accident and stuff. So it was a journey, it was something for everybody, just very unfortunate with my friend losing her daughter. But I can honestly say, like, I was with her, and I really wish I can get a better understanding of it, because like I said, I saw her, she looked different, as well as, the little boy too. But he, of course, he went back to the tunnel, so me and him, we came back on this side, and she stayed there, but as I keep learning, evolving, I possibly, of course, I know I will get more understanding, but I have learned a lot of things, a lot of new things that I would like to kind of share more on just on my different platforms and stuff. Like, that's something I just want to kind of because everybody, like, share what they have learned, experience, and that can help someone else. So that's what I want to do. I definitely want to become and start speaking on what what God, universe, the universe want me to share with everyone. And I have information I'm supposed to be sharing, and someone needs to know. And I if I don't say nothing, that's someone needs to hear what I need to say, because it may be something to help them, and so yeah. But I'm not gonna go on and on, but I'm gonna start going live. I know I've listened to so many people speak on when when it's time for them to do something, or they have a message, or God had them, and they be like, well, I just got up here and just went on here and just started talking. And this right here is really something new to me, because I've never went live ever on social media. And it was so funny when I decided to go ahead and start posting on this page. And I can remember back then when I first made this page up, and it just brought back memories and all that. So, but I'm not gonna go on and on. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. So if y'all can, it may be someone that can maybe give me some little answers on what I experienced, and just kind of share that, share some things, of course, like, comment, share some things with me, and I'll be continue, starting to post and go live more or whatever, and just share some more things with you all that I've learned and getting better understanding of and everything. So I thank y'all so much for listening. Okay, y'all enjoy y'all day. And still didn't get nighttime on me. I'm just sitting in my car chilling though. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Talk to you later.